This month, it will be a year since I left Siberia and my old life with only one suitcase and a day pack. I had to downsize so much, was made to become an extreme minimalist, but if I had to do that again, I would do it a bit differently. I've reconsidered some of my views, but I'm still a minimalist, although I have stuff to declutter this spring. What it is, how did it happen, and what has changed? Let's have a chat. This video is kindly sponsored by Skillshare. I'm currently living in Belgrade. Brian and I got our one-year residency, but what will happen next September? Where will we go? Whether we will stay or not? We have no idea. When last September we rented our apartment and got more or less stable nest, I had a sudden relapse in my shopping fever. I suddenly felt safer and more grounded and just wanted to make up for all those months of not being able to think about our future and family environment. And apart from the things that we really needed for our home, I made quite a few impulse purchases, good and bad, and I talk about them in more detail in my 2022 recap videos. But now that the spring is on its way and I'm in the mood for renewal, I wanted to talk about my to-be decluttered pile. And for that, we need to go back to our apartment. Okay, here is what I want to declutter. And the first item is this sweater. Probably you've seen it before in my previous videos. I bought it secondhand last spring. It was a purchase out of necessity. I needed something to warm me up during a very cold spring in St. Petersburg. And I think already back then, and I bought this sweater secondhand, the previous owner didn't wash it properly and it was already kind of felted, and I didn't make it better either. It's pure wool and it requires very special handling and observing a particular washing regime, which obviously didn't happen. As a result, the neck area is kind of bubbly and the sleeves are too short, and I used it as an embroidery playground and it was fun, but I don't like the cut of this sweater anymore. I don't like very high neck because it's very warm and it's kind of suffocating for me at the moment. I do enjoy the color still, but I think I will let it go. The second item in our parade is a long sleeve, this one. I bought it primarily because of the color and the interesting sleeve stitch detail. I'm not sure whether you can see it, but the quality is not great. The neck area is already a bit stretched out, although I didn't wear it a ton of times. But the main disappointment here is the fabric, the stiffness of the fabric. It's so coarse that it even hurts my skin, and this is the lesson learned. I cannot stand stiffness and coarse characteristics of any kind of fabric. I just need softness. Then I have a button-up shirt, and it has the same problem, the stiffness of the fabric. Yes, it's pure cotton, it's very neat and crease-free almost, but it's very stiff on me. I feel like I'm wearing a paper bag around my body. This was the purchase of this summer when it was very hot and I needed something very loose, and I bought it while we were staying in Albania, and I think it was a mistake. I still love the pattern, I love the palette of this shirt, but not the cut and not the fabric quality anymore. Another item to declutter this spring is this hat. It's hand crocheted by me and I still like the color, but I don't like the style anymore. I'm kind of over it. I don't like it on my head. And the main advantage of handmade yarn things is that you can easily unravel them and turn them into something else. This is a very high quality yarn, it's organic cotton, it's very soft, so I think I will just unravel and create something else. I have another hat of the same style but of different color, and I'm not unraveling it and decluttering it right now, but maybe I will do it a bit later on. Another handmade item to declutter is this scarf. It's pure merino wool and I knitted it not long time ago, but now I realize that the color is too bluntly white for me. So again, another thing to unravel. But I have quite a lot of small scarves right now that I created for myself and that I like so much more than this one. So why keep it if I no longer like it? I don't see any sense in that. And the last clothing item that I'm going to declutter this spring is these jeans. I bought them out of boredom and sickness with my old pants, and I like the body part, how it looks on me, but I don't like the leg part. I think the design it's kind of, it was on trend, I think, maybe, but it just doesn't look good on me and I'm not feeling quite myself wearing it. So, but I do enjoy the color. It goes well with so many items that I already have, and I like the softness or stiffness ratio of this denim and the fact that it doesn't stretch. I cannot stand denim that stretches, but this is just my thing. So, but I'm still wearing them while it's cold, and then we'll see. I will donate some of these things, maybe one or a couple, but the majority, the overwhelming majority of them will be repurposed or remade by me. I've been thinking a lot about it lately and came to a conclusion that the most sustainable and fulfilling way for me to handle things that I no longer need or love is repurposing them and remaking them into something else. Yes, donating is good, but with the tremendous level of overconsumption that we have at the moment worldwide, I often doubt that my belongings would make any difference to anyone. But also, I'm a passionate crafter, and recently I managed to get a sewing machine, which has become possible thanks to the support of the lovely community. And instead of getting more crafting supplies, I would just use what I already have, these items that I want to declutter. For example, I will use my button-up shirt for making project bags and occasional drawstring bags that I use all the time for organizing my possessions. Or I was also planning maybe to make a detachable collar out of it. And I will turn my jeans into shorts because I don't have any denim shorts, but they will be great during summer, and I won't throw away the leg part. I will make a bag out of it, or I don't know, maybe some patchwork design, something. There are so many opportunities for me to use these items, and I'm honestly excited to declutter. My values changed, and now I'm even more confident in my creative skills, and this knowledge filled the void in my heart that previously used to be filled through shopping. When we know that we can create something, we are no longer afraid not to have that thing, or we are not afraid of losing that thing. And this concept can be applied not only to material things, but to everything, almost everything else that we have in our life. Create more than you consume. This is one of my most important mottos currently. Do I buy even less now? Well, yeah, when it comes to physical ready-made items, but I've begun to value immaterial offerings on a much deeper level. I buy more art and craft supplies, more courses and tutorials. At the moment, I support more independent creatives than ever. For me personally, it's much better and more important than having, for example, a paid streaming service subscription, for example. I support people who I resonate with on so many different levels, for example, fellow content creators, crafters, political opposition figures, or authors or charity organizations. You have probably heard for so many times that money is energy, first of all, and although in savings and laying money aside and having a safety net is very important, money has to flow to create value for yourself and for others. I don't want to serve faceless materialism. I want to serve good dreams and goals, mine and the ones of other people. I believe in more human economy for humans, not corporations. And this is how my minimalism has transformed over this year. My frugal minimalism, yes, I'm frugal, but in a different way. In another way, I have become more generous. And yeah, this is the new direction and the new concept of my personal minimalist journey. With the rise of artificial intelligence, human connections and learning from an actual person are becoming more and more valuable. And this is where I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Now I'm even more focusing on my creative skills to nurture courage to be myself in this turbulent world and to welcome new opportunities. Apart from classes in photography, editing, illustration, and crafting, Skillshare has hundreds of career-focused classes too. They take off much pressure for starting a new career path or taking a scary pivot in your professional life. I'm still struggling with imposter syndrome, and the recent class, Creative Confidence, Learn to Overcome the Critical Voice by Lucy Lambrix, was such a great support. It's not only informative and inspiring, but fun as well. You can begin to explore new creative and career options right now for free. The first 1,000 people to use my link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. This is it for today. Thank you so much for being here, dear friends. Feel free to share in the comments where you are at with minimalism at the moment and what has changed over the past year, for example. And as always, be safe and keep your heart open. And I hope to see you soon. Пока-пока.